Hey guys, my name is निपुण भाटी और इस चैनल पर हम बात करते हैं पर्सनल फाइनेंस, वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट, फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग, मनी मैनेजमेंट के बारे में। लेकिन आज इन सब टॉपिक्स पे बात करने से पहले हम बात करेंगे इंडिया के बारे में, बिकॉज इंडिया ने ओवरटेक कर लिया है चाइना को इन टर्म्स ऑफ पॉपुलेशन। India has now finally become the most populous nation in world with a population of around 1.429 billion compared to 1.426 billion in China. This is as per the latest report released by United Nations Population Fund. और कुछ बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट्स उस रिपोर्ट में शेयर किए गए हैं। उन सभी फैक्ट्स के बारे में बात करेंगे, इंडिया की ग्रोथ के बारे में बात करेंगे और फाइनली देखेंगे कि हाउ दिस टॉपिक इज गेटिंग रिलेटेड टू आवर पर्सनल फाइनेंस मैनेजमेंट। So let's get started. So basically इंडिया का पॉपुलेशन ऑफ वर्ल्ड के सारे नेशंस में से सबसे ज्यादा है। इट इज द 7th लार्जेस्ट कंट्री बाय एरिया, बट as far as population is concerned, we are number 1 now. It brings out a lot of questions in terms of the economic growth, GDP, per capita income, the kind of diversity we carry, the kind of skills that our youth require in today's time. So as far as this report is concerned, we are at a great demographic advantage. Why? Let's look into these factors. Number 1, out of the total population of 142 crores, 25 crore people are in the age of 15 to 24, which means that we have a lot of young population compared to all the other nations in the world. Second, India has a median age of 28.4. Now, what does that mean? It means that 50% of the population is lying below the age of 28 and 50% of the population is above the age of 28. 50% of the population below the age of 28 years. That's a great number. That's a great youth that India has in today's time. Number 3, as far as the working population is concerned, and that working population is basically considered in this report from the age of 15 to 64, that number is 68% of the total India's population. The world average is 65%. So, India has more working population compared to all the other nations in the world. Number 4, as far as the age group of 0 to 14 is concerned, 25% of the Indian population is lying into that group, which means that even after 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years down the line, we have a lot of youth coming in place, which forecast that the median age of Indian population by 2050 will be 38. Still a great picture looking 25 years down the line, right? There are various news articles that are coming in place saying that India is at a great demographic advantage as far as today's time is concerned, and it is also boasting about the large pool of workers, consumers, innovators that are contributing significantly to the economic expansion. So this is just one side of the picture, which is a positive aspect as far as India's growth is concerned. Now let's look into some factors where we need to focus on. Number 1, since we have a large pool of workers in the list, there is also a need to create a large number of jobs because of the abundant supply of labor in today's time. The second challenge is, since we have a large amount of population, the rising domestic consumption for all the goods and services is also increasing with time. So as a nation, are we able to meet the demand of those goods and services coming from the large number of people living in India? Another challenge is, by World Bank data, India's agricultural labor share was at 45% in 2020, way too large than the sector share in GDP, which is only 20%. To answer this, let's look into some of various aspects related to it. Even if the whole globe is facing the economic slowdown, India is still the fastest growing economy in the world, and it is coming out in the top 10 largest economies in the world. It has recently overtook France, and India sits at 6th position as far as the topmost economies in the world are concerned. The expected growth rate of Indian economy is somewhere around 6 to 7% in today's time. Look at this article. KKR is a private equity investment firm which entered in India in 2006, and its CEO is saying that the Indian stock market from the pre-COVID to today is probably one of the top 2 or 3 stock markets in the world in terms of equity performance. And he might be probably right, because looking into this articles of mutual funds SIP collection in the fiscal year 2023, it has grown by 25%, and the industry has now reached 1.56 trillion, basically threefold in past 7 years. Not only this, we recently saw that Apple opened a retail store in Mumbai, and it is also going to open a second retail store as well. Looking into the disturbances that are going on in the relations between US and China, Apple is now focusing on shifting its manufacturing hub to India. And in January 2023, the Karnataka state government has announced that it will allocate land to Foxconn, which is the largest manufacturer of Apple iPhones. to set up a factory in the state. As far as electronic manufacturing is concerned, semiconductor market is concerned, mobile phones production is concerned, data consumption is concerned, these are all growing at a very rapid rate. This is one example from the electronics market. Let's look into the infrastructure point of view. There is 10,000 kilometers of digital highway that is coming up with the optical fiber cable, which means that it is going to bring internet connectivity to 5G or 6G to remote locations and escalate the development of advanced telecom technologies. Government is also planning to come up with the ropeway projects. In areas where hills are there and forest areas are there, it becomes very difficult to have road constructions and infrastructures being set up. The transport of material is a hassle there, and that is where around 250 projects are coming up with a ropeway length of more than 1200 kilometers over the next 5 years. Talking about the health sector, the budget of financial year 2024 has set aside 1.12 trillion for education sector, which is the highest ever, and it is 8.2% higher compared to previous year. But talking from the overall perspective, there was a term that was used again and again by our finance minister in the budget that was announced in February, which is known as AMRIT KAAL. Now, what is AMRIT KAAL? AMRIT KAAL means that for the next 25 years, the roadmap of India is already set to ascend new heights for the prosperity of India. The vision of AMRIT KAAL is to include a technology-driven and knowledge-based economy with strong public finances and a robust financial sector. She also told about Saptarishi, who was seen as a guiding light of the human race in ancient India. And using that term, she has mentioned 7 budget priorities, which are these. Under AMRIT KAAL, there is also a great opportunity to have a digital revolution even in the agricultural sector. So, there is a huge chance that even our agricultural sector will also start contributing more and more towards our GDP compared to the workforce that is involved into that. On and on, we talked about India's population, the youth that India has in today's time, the kind of prospect that India has set for next 25 years through AMRIT KAAL. Yes, there are certain challenges, but I think looking into the current situation and the roadmap that our government has made for next 25 years, India's growth seems to be unstoppable. But why I am telling you all this if this channel is related to personal finance and wealth management? Because as per my opinion, and this is purely my opinion based on the facts that I have put forward in front of you, as per my opinion, this is the best time to invest in Indian market. Keep invested, stay invested, and who knows, you may be seeing your money growing at the maximum rate possible compared to all the other people outside of India who are investing into their economies. मेरे पॉइंट्स कितने वैलिड लगे, कितने सही लगे, कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर बताना। वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो दोस्तों के साथ शेयर करना और सब्सक्राइब का बटन दबा देना। Plan today for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.